Hey, it's 𝐤𝐤𝐥𝐿, and today I'm bringing you another Casual Constructed, the show where we play constructed formats, and today is our first ever modern gameplay video. For this one, I got my editor busted sleeves in to show me the ropes in modern, but before we get into it, here's my obligatory for the algorithm reminder. Please hit that like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Tell me what you think of this video. Also, if you want to support the channel more directly, as well as get some awesome perks, including exclusive Discord access, early content, as well as physical original art tokens made by blood artists sent to you, check out the Patreon. There's all kinds of ways you can support, from $1 all the way up to as much as you like, and all that stuff just keeps the lights on here and helps us keep going. So thank you so much to the Patreons. We'll see y'all's names at the end of the video. Until then, enjoy the game. I am playing what Saffron Olive called Real Affinity, right? This is a budget list that actually did really well. I saw the video when it came out a few months ago, but MTG Goldfish then did this top 10 like budget modern decks of the year, and this one was on there and did a really good job. And so I play Pauper, and it's very similar to, I have a lot of similar overlap cards with the Affinity Pauper, just with some cool stuff like Nettlecyst. Essentially Affinity, like our little Frogmite here, is this spell costs 1 less to cast for each artifact you control. So you stuff every artifact land that you can, and you're trying to cast free Frogmites. They banned my boy Sojourner's Companion. Oh my god, this was... I understand why it was banned in Pauper, but god, I love this boy. He is so good.
That guy was absurd, though.
It was stupid. He needed to get banned, but like I was still sad. But he's legal in modern, you know. So a lot of these Emir Enforcer, as I like to call him, beer gut enforcer, right? Because he's got a little tum tum. You know, these free spells. You know, restocking your hands with things like Thought Monitor is a big one. Thought Cast. You know, just 1 blue, draw some cards, get a body. You know, very fair magic. And then try to win out. We got cards like Cranial Plating here, which are going to make our artifact stupid big, and Nettlecyst and whatnot, and just try to kill you as fast as we can.
For me, I've played a lot of modern decks. I haven't ever really had a drive to build this one, and then they released the Fiona Staples Secret Lair, and so I got a hold of the Thirsty Nymph.
Oh yeah,
Dryad of the Elastic Groves, and
it's like he gets sexier every printing.
Oh my goodness. And so I have Amulet Titan, which got a lot better with Cultivator Harvester when that came out. You're able to just like one shot, like draw cards out of your deck, hit a bunch of 𝐿𝐤𝐤 triggers, things like that. It's not the streamlined version, so a lot of this Amulet Titan deck, where it's all about accelerating in prime time, have gone away from all the other toolbox packages and gone full Explorer and Arboreal Grazer. Yeah. So they can be faster. But I also got the full text Karns, like the big text box Karns.
Oh wow!
So I'm like,
wow, those look cool.
Those look sweet. So I was like, all right, I'll just run the older version that's not as faster, so I can play with this. So built this deck. Really excited to pilot it. The only proxy in the deck, because for whatever reason, the only land I don't have is Boros Garrison.
Oh, well, it's so much. It's so expensive, right? Reprinted already, Wizards.
Yeah, it's like 25 cents, and that's like, I was like, oh, I'm sure I have one of those laying around. I have like Garrison, but Boros. Apparently, I'm just anti-Boros aggro, so
that's funny.
Not even in my brew.
Awesome, man. Well, let's go ahead. I know I've just been sitting here shuffling and whatnot, but let's go ahead and roll for first. Let's see who's gonna take the play. I got a 9.
I got a 7. So it's your play.
That's exactly where we want to be in this matchup.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. All right, then let's get this started. And I don't draw. I always have to remind myself with these formats, don't draw, you filthy commander play. That's not how this works. I'm going to go ahead and start off with a Silver Bluff Bridge, which is an artifact land. It comes in tapped, and I'm going to go ahead and cast a Memnite, just a free 1/1.
1/1.
And starts my artifact count, and I'll go ahead and pass.
All right, could have been worse. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go Urza Saga counter on it.
Again, I hear this is a really good card too.
It's pretty solid, and then we're gonna play our first Amulet of Vigor.
Nice. And will you tell the people real quick what Urza Saga does?
Yeah, so Urza Saga, when it comes into play, it gets a Saga counter on it. First Saga counter means it can tap for mana. It retains that ability until it goes away. Beginning of my main phase of my next turn, I get the second chapter, which lets me pay 2, tap it, and make a construct token, which power toughness equals number of artifacts I control. It is also an artifact whenever the construct comes out. And then the third ability is I can search my library for an artifact mana cost 1 or 0, and put it into play. So it just tutors Amulet out.
Yeah, but you got an Amulet of
occasionally
Vigor.
a splashing as a pass.
Okay, cool. I'll draw. I will start off by tapping 1 for a Springleaf Drum, which lets me tap an untapped creature I control to add a mana of any color. And let's see, so my affinity right now is 3. So I'll go ahead and tap Homeboy for 1 mana. I'll play Frogmite, which is 2/2 affinity for artifacts. It costs 4, but because I have 1, 2, 3, it only costs 1. So I pay into 1. And then I'll cast another free Frogmite because now I have 4 artifacts. Well, now I have 5. Boom, boom, boom. Again, you can see how crazy this gets. No attack yet, but we got quite the board, and I'll go ahead and pass after that.
4-turn clock.
Yeah.
All right, so the way the sagas work, I draw first.
Yes.
And then I put a counter on. Oh, we wanted to.
And chat over here, we can see someone says that they've played some Hammer Time, which I hear is a really big deck in the format right now, as well as some Burn. So yeah, some pretty classic modern archetypes.
Hammer Time is like the primary reason I am not on Murktide right now.
It's not so good.
Yeah, like, you could make it better, but then you struggled against elementals.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Radiant Fountain. I'm gonna gain 2 life, and then
You're gonna need it.
I might. I think I'm just gonna pass the turn out.
Okay, untap, and I'll draw. All right, I will pay a blue. Well, let's see, 1, 2, 4, 5. You know what? I think this is even better. I'm gonna play an Ornithopter for free. Love the Cheerios. It's just a 0-drop 0/2, and then now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 artifacts. So I'll pay a blue mana for a Thought Monitor, which has affinity for artifacts. It's a 2/2 flyer. When it enters, draw 2 cards. So I'll draw 2. I am going to go ahead and let's do this. Let's tap Springleaf Drum and my Ornithopter for a blue mana, and I'll cast Thoughtcast.
Oh boy.
Draw me 2 more cards. Again, cheaper because of that beautiful affinity for artifacts. Let's play a Mistveil Bridge, and then I'm gonna go 2 attacks, and I'll swing for 4, 5.
I'm gonna go to 17.
Okay. In my second main, I'll cast another Frogmite, and there's that Dadbot Enforcer, Beer Gut Enforcer, Mirror Enforcer. So let's see. This is turn 3, right?
Yep.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 power on the board. I love this format, I think. I might be a modern player.
No bias, right?
Yeah, right. And I'll go ahead and pass the turn.
Okay. How many cards do you have in hand?
I have 2 left.
All right. I'm going to draw for turn and then decide what saga.
Sure.
I have 1 colorless mana floating.
Oh, here comes the boogie board.
So Saga's gonna let me go get another amulet.
Now, Amulet, we haven't actually said, what does Amulet of Vigor do?
Yeah, so whenever a permanent enters the battlefield tapped under your control,
Sweet.
And
So
then the way Amulet will work, because there's multiple amulets, they'll trigger multiple times. So
you'll get an
you can
untapped
generate
trigger, and then you could tap it for mana, and then untap a land and stuff like that. Very nice.
All right. So how far we can go? We're gonna be able to go far enough. Turn. We're gonna go Breeding Pool. I'm not gonna pay the 2, so it comes in tap. The amulet's trigger.
Okay.
We're gonna float. So the first untap, we're gonna float a green. Second untap, gonna leave it untapped. We're gonna tap a Radiant Fountain for 3. We're gonna go Azusa. We're gonna play a Cavern of Souls, naming Giants, and then we're gonna play.
No, you're supposed to
name
silly. You're supposed to name Titans, right?
Titans. I was like, wait.
Titans is not an actual type, I don't think, in Magic.
I don't think it is. I don't think they have made.
Like there's cards named something Titan, but there's no Titan like creature type. There's giants, right?
Right. They're just giants, yeah. All right, so the Valakut 1 tap from the amulets fizzle a little bit, so I will just pass back.
I absolutely love that for me.
Oh no.
I'll go ahead, untap.
We did.
And I'll draw for turn. I think the first thing to do is play a blue mana, and let's play that Thought Monitor for 1 blue. 2/2, draw 2 cards. I'm gonna play a Darksteel Citadel. Pay 2 for a Cranial Plating. And then I'm going to tap my Thought Monitor for a mana and attach that Cranial Plating. Which, by the way, Cranial Plating, everyone out there, a grip creature gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control, which right now is a shit ton. I'm going to put that onto my Thought Monitor.
Okay.
All right. And go to combat?
Yep.
All right. I'll swing 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 on the ground, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 in the air.
Yeah, no, I can block 4 on the ground, and that's it. So I'm dead.
All right, good game. And you know what? Actually, I probably should have put the Cranial Plating. I'm just thinking like optimizing. I should have put on the Ornithopter, because I would have spread out the damage a little. Yeah.
The deck doesn't want a bolt, but to dodge like a bolt effect.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah. But yeah, no, good game, and let's go. What is that? That's a turn 4 win. That's pretty good, right? Pretty respectable for the format. So I'm looking at my sideboard, and I'm seeing I have Damping Sphere in here, which if a land is tapped for 2 or more mana, it produces colorless instead of any other type. Each spell a player casts costs 1 more to cast for each other spell that player has cast this turn. Now, would you say that this is a primetime hoser or trying to? Is that why this is in there?
Yeah, for sure. Because so primarily because you know this deck operates off the Chiron lands or the bounce lands.
Yeah.
And so they tap for the green-white, so that turns that into colorless.
Yeah.
So then that means that like now I have to go and find myself like a forest.
Yeah.
So that you know if I don't go find a forest, then that basically blood moon.
Right. And I actually just happened to have opened up a bunch of these prismatic endings, which I hear are really good in Modern right now.
Oh, those things are great.
So yeah, and what's it called? Because they get any non-land permanent with mana value less than or equal to the number of colors of mana spent. So for 1 white mana, I can get rid of your prime time or your amulet, right?
Yep. For 1 mana, you can exile amulet.
So I think those are what I'm wanting to bring in. Sean, tell me a little bit about what you're looking at trying to do.
Yeah, so because I'm running Karn in my deck is not like the third sideboard. A lot of them have gotten rid of Karn, so there's a lot more like green tools in the sideboard that I don't have access to. So because of the speed of your deck, I'm cutting the Cultivator Harvesters. I'm trimming in Azusa because I don't want 2 legendaries in hand. I had that last game. I had 2 Azuzas in hand, so like I was on 6 cards anyway. Yeah. And I'm trimming 1 Karn because he's so slow. Ideally, I should have 4 Force of Vigors, but I currently am only running 2. And then I've been putting Prismatic Ending, like it's in the sideboard of my Dredge deck, it's in the sideboard of like Jeskai Phoenix. It just does so it's all the hate cards. All the hate cards like 2 or 3 mana. So I'm bringing in 2 of my 4 Prismatic Ending, playing with 2 Force of Vigors, or 3 Cultivator Harvesters, Azusa, and Karn. Sure. And I'm leaving 1 Karn in the deck because if I can accelerate into that Karn on the play, then I can turn off your ability to equip your sculpt. What is it? The Nettle Cyst and things like that. The equip abilities. On the draw, if I win game 2, I can bring Azusa back in and cut the other Karn. Okay. To try to compensate for being at a slower tempo.
Yeah, no, you're on the play, so we are good to go. Sean, go ahead and start us off.
Slayer Stronghold.
All right, and that card I'm going to pull up because I'm curious what it does. Okay, so
red and white, +2/+0, haste and vigil.
Let's go Silver Bluff Canal. I'll start off with a Memnite. And, I'll start off with an Ornithopter as well. So get 2 of my Cheerios out there. And I'll pass the turn.
All right.
Also, I just like that I can say Cheerios just in Magic, and it's like, oh, that's so good.
Expedition Map.
Hey, and that's the one. You can sacrifice it for 2 and then search your library for any land card.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I'm going to pass turn.
So let's go ahead, play Ornithopter, play Mishra's Bauble. 5. Let's pay 1 blue for the Thought Cast. That was my first draw, and I was like, oh, we need card draw, and there it is. So I'll draw 2. Play a Mist Vault Bridge tap, and I'll go to combat. I'll swing for 1, so not a big damage turn, but definitely setting up for a lot. We got a lot of affinity right now.
Yeah. All right, go to 19.
And actually, this could be relevant too. I'm gonna go ahead and play an Ornithopter. Got 3 of my Ornithopters out, which, by the way, I love these ones. I kind of want to get the fan. Have you seen the sketch? They look like Leonardo da Vinci's freaking workshop arts. Have you seen those?
Yeah, I love those.
Oh, I need to get a playset of those. I don't know how expensive they are, but I think I could have a little playset as a treat,
As a treat.
But yeah, I'll go ahead and pass the turn.
See what we get here. That's okay. So I pay 2, play 4, play 3. We're gonna play a Dryad of the Elysian Grove, so I can play an additional land each turn, and my lands have every base types.
Sexy Dryad. Look at him. Look at him. He is literally giving me fuck me eye. Like.
Oh, he's so hot. Like I snap bought these. I was like, look at these Dryads. I didn't own any Dryads. I was like, well, I need 4 anyway. So I'm gonna play Cavern Souls Naming Giant. And then I'm gonna pay white, and I'm going to Prismatic Ending Memnite.
Okay, Memnite is exiled. Okay, awesome. I will untap, upkeep, and draw. I will pay 1 for a Springleaf Drum, and then let's pay a blue for Thought Monitor. 2 flyer, and they are going to draw me 2 cards. Mist Vault Bridge tapped, and then Springleaf Drum tapping this Ornithopter for another Springleaf Drum, and I have 2 cards in hand. These Ornithopters aren't going to do anything right now, so I will go ahead and pass turn to you.
All right, so yeah, so we're gonna sacrifice Expedition.
Okay.
We're gonna go get Tolaria West. Tolaria West, an old original Ravnica block ability called Transmute. So I can pay 1 blue. Discard this card as a sorcery. Search my library for a card with converted mana cost that matches the cost of this card. So this case would be 0.
Yeah.
So other transmutes would go fine. So we're going to Crumbling Vestige. It's going to make a blue. And then these 2 will tap for blue because of Dryad of the Grove. We're going to transmit the Tolaria West. We're transmitting the Tolaria West. We're going to go find a 0-drop spell. For the 0-drop spell, we're going to go find some act.
Oh.
And that will go to hand.
Oh, now you're doing your thing. Oh, no. I just wanted to do my thing.
Unfortunately, I can't do it this turn. So I will pass the...
All right, upkeep, and I will draw for turn. All right, I'm going to pay 3 mana for Nettle Cyst.
Yeah.
Nettle Cyst will make a germ and attach to it, and the equipped creature get +1/+1 for each artifact or enchantment I control. What I'm then going to do is cast a Memnite and cast another Mishra's Bauble, and then I'm going to tap these 2 Springleaf Drums and these 2... Let's do an Ornithopter and then the Memnite to attach this Nettle Cyst to this Ornithopter. So this will be get +1, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 power. So 13 and 2. I'm gonna go to combat.
Yep.
13, 14, 15 in the air at you, my friend.
I'm going to 4, and I need to draw 1.
All right. Well, I hope it's at the bottom of your deck. So no, I'm just kidding. I'll go ahead and pass the turn. Let's go Affinity.
All right, come on.
It's pretty poggers if you ask me.
Drew it, so now we're not
You really? No!
To be fair, there's like 30 of them in there.
I mean, to be fair, I shouldn't just be able to invite people on my stream and just murder them, so I guess you have to put up a fight.
We're playing Amulet of Vigor off their Crumbling Vestige. So the card we need to draw was a land. We did draw a land. So
nice.
We're gonna play Selesnya Sanctuary. We have 2 triggers. So when this comes into play, I bounce a land, and we have the Amulet of Vigor. So I'm gonna resolve the Amulet of Vigor trigger. It's gonna untap. I'm gonna float a green and a white mana.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna bounce itself to my hand. So I have 2 floating, and then I'm gonna make a green off Cavern. So that's 6. I'm gonna play a Summoner's Pact.
Okay.
Summoner's Pact is gonna go get
the Titan. That's not really a Titan. He's a giant.
Yep. He's a
Get
giant.
it right.
And so I'm gonna side over here so I remember the thing that I need to pay for to get to that point. Although I think I need to win now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna use the 6.
I recommend winning now if you can.
I'm gonna use the 6. Prime Time's gonna trigger. It's gonna go fetch. You have 4 creatures. Okay.
I have 5. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I have this Memnite who was hiding.
Okay. So yeah, we could do it this way. So the fetch is gonna be a Valakut and Hanawar Battlements. So Amulet of Vigor is gonna trigger. We're gonna untap. We're also gonna have 2 Valakut triggers.
Oh, you doing the thing.
Doing the thing.
So, so are all those mountains?
Yes, because of Dryad.
Because of Dryad, nice.
Everything is mountain, including the Valakut itself.
Nice.
And so these we're gonna untap, and then I get to deal And decide how much we'd have. You have
Yeah, take
one
your time.
ornithopter back?
Yeah, I have one ornithopter back is my only blocker.
Okay, yeah. All right. So I'm gonna deal 6 to you.
Okay, just straight up to me.
Yep. And then
All
I'm
right,
gonna
go to
use
14.
𝐿𝐼𝐥𝐷, which for anybody who's not familiar with 𝐿𝐼𝐥𝐷, when it comes into play, whenever a mountain enters the battlefield under your control, if you control at least 5 other mountains, you may have 𝐿𝐼𝐥𝐷 deal 3 damage to your target. Dryad turns all lands into mountains, so I have 7, and so they see each other enter. Hanawar Battlements, I'm gonna use the red off 𝐿𝐼𝐥𝐷 to give Primeval Titan haste.
Okay. That's another 6 damage potentially.
Attack, it's going to be more than 6. Whenever he attacks, he gets another trigger.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
Another 𝐿𝐼𝐥𝐷, and he's going to get a Vesuva to copy 𝐿𝐼𝐥𝐷.
Oh, sheesh.
So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to be.
And what is
damage.
is this going to be 18 damage right there?
When Vesuva comes into play, it enters as a copy of a land.
Okay.
So
and when you say 18, is it 18 just from lands, or is it 18
just from the 𝐿𝐼𝐥𝐷?
Right. So just from 𝐿𝐼𝐥𝐷. So I'm just dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Good game.
Good game.
That was awesome. Okay, that was really cool to get to see you do your thing right there. So
Do the
that was
Titan
nice.
thing. Yeah.
You know, I've heard of Amulet Titan. You know, I've oh man, I just died. Make sure you buy secret layers so you don't die next time. Thanks ads. Not sponsored, but yeah.
Not sponsored. Yep, good to go.
All right, let's do it. I'll hit it with a Silver Bluff Bridge and an Ornithopter, and I'll go ahead and pass the.
So you're down to 3 cards, right?
Yeah, I'm down to 3 cards already.
All right, so
Don't at me. I can still win. I can do it.
it's a pity. It's a pity.
Yeah, I
feel
don't feel
bad.
pity. I need you to die with my 0-2.
I'm gonna play an Urza Saga, and we're gonna get to go turn 1 Amulet past the.
Untap, upkeep, draw. Well, like I said, it's not nothing. I'll drop a Memnite. I'll drop a Tanglepool Bridge, which, by the way, both of these lands foil.
I see that glisten.
Ballin'.
But
Let's
they've
go.
been lifted. They got that like gleam on them.
Right. Let's go ahead and go Frogmite. So I have some power. Let's hope we get some of our draw spells here. And I'll go ahead and pass the turn.
All right, untap, draw. Okay, so we're gonna go Simic Growth Chamber. We're gonna resolve the trigger of Amulet first to untap. Float a green and a blue. Float a green and a blue. And then we're actually gonna bounce the Simic back.
Okay.
And then we're gonna go colorless. Play a Dryad of the Elysian Grove.
Nice. Let's go.
And then we're gonna go Forest.
Okay, so that's a 2/4, correct?
2/4.
Right, well, already outclassed my fellows. Go ahead and draw.
Stares at that frog and says, "Not today."
Right.
Not today.
But I do have something that can go with that. So I'll do a Darksteel Citadel, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for that dad bod, that beer gut enforcer, Mir enforcer, 4/4. Hellbent at the moment, and I'll go ahead and pass.
All right. So we're gonna untap and draw. Yep. So Saga has 2 counters on it after I drew. Before the 3rd counter goes on, I'm gonna float a colorless mana, and then Saga's gonna get its 3rd charge counter to my main phase and sacrifice.
Very nice.
Go get a 2nd Amulet of Vigor.
Sweet. This is a problem.
Oh yeah. So I have 1 colorless. I have 1.
You're like, yeah, you're right. You're
All right. So you're going to Simic Growth Chamber as my land. These 2 are gonna trigger. We're gonna untap. So we're gonna have a blue-green, untap, blue-green. So that's 4.
Yep.
4. Then we're gonna bounce this back to hand. We're using colorless, the green. So you use 6. And we're gonna play a prime time.
There you go. Also like how these amulets are now tapped.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna untap now.
Yeah. Just to help you, is that just like to help you keep track of?
Make sure I don't overdo them.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have so many land drops, it helps you resolve.
That's a good one.
So let's see. So we're gonna have a Selesnya Sanctuary and a Gruul Turf both come into play. We'll have amulet triggers for both of these.
Gross.
So we're going to float 8 mana, and then we're going to bounce Forest, Selesnya Sanctuary. So we have 4 green mana floating. We have 2 white mana floating, and then we have 2 red mana. We're gonna use the 4 green, 1 red, 1 white. We're going to play another prime time.
Mamma mia.
Gonna go get 2, 6. We're gonna go get Castle Garenbrig and 𝐿𝐼𝐥𝐷 the Molten Pinnacle.
Okay.
They both come into play tapped, so Amulet of Vigor triggers. We're gonna float 2 reds, 2 greens.
Yep.
So that's gonna take us up to 3 red, 2 green, and then we're tapped out.
I believe some damage coming my way.
Not quite yet. We're gonna Summoner's Pact. We're gonna go get another Primeval Titan.
Dryad doesn't make those into mountains?
They are mountains, but I only have 3 lands in play.
So okay. So you need more before the 𝐻𝐼𝐼𝐿𝐼𝐼𝐼 starts to. Okay.
Yeah, 5 other mountains. Go Primeval Titan, 6 mana that's full. I still have a land drop floating for 𝐻𝐼𝐼𝐼 𝐿𝐼𝐼𝐼. So this prime time is going to go pull 𝐻𝐼𝐼𝐼 Battlements and Slayer's Stronghold. They'll come into play tapped, and then they're both going to get untapped. Untap these. What do I want to do with it? So the first untap trigger, we're going to float 2 reds off of these, and then they're going to untap again. Actually, we're going to float a white and a red because of Dryad. Lets me float whatever I need. And then we're going to play a Forest. So this will trigger 1 𝐻𝐼𝐼𝐼. So we're going to deal 3 damage to you.
Okay. Go to 17.
The Forest is going to produce a red because of Dryad. So we have 2 red and a white. I'm going to use 1 of the red and 𝐻𝐼𝐼 Battlements to give this Primeval Titan haste.
Okay.
I'm going to use the other red and white to give this Primeval Titan +2, 2 +0 in haste.
Yep.
We're going to go to combat. I'm going to swing for 14 and get 2 more triggers.
Ooh, that's getting really close to killing me.
It's going to go get 𝐻𝐼𝐼.
This guy is just going to go kill me, actually, yeah.
Suva, yeah, because we're going to have 2 triggers for 3 different 𝐻𝐼𝐼𝐼. So we're going to have 6 triggers, so that's going to be 18 damage.
Yeah.
And then we'll have the 14 triggers.
Yeah, and that's totally good for me. GG. I am eliminated. And here is your secret lair, Wizards Play Network, and Amazon. Really, all stuff that you could live without, just so you know. No, very good. No, that was fun. Yeah, just I had to mulligan down to 5. Welding Jar wasn't going to do much off the top, but still a respectable board, and if you hadn't gotten there, we would have started doing business. But yeah, that's just the way it goes. Again, for those of y'all intimidated by Modern, $130 deck, we got that win the first one, and it really wasn't like out of the realm of possibility to potentially run into another win there in game 3, even in game 2. So I felt like I was competing, you know. I didn't feel like I brought a water gun to a World War II battle zone, you know. I was
not at all. Like, I think if you don't mulligan, like, and you're able to have, like, say you go to 6 and you're able to keep a thought monitor in hand.
Yeah.
Then you're able to
you're in a good spot. Yeah, as the kids say, now that's pod racing. I really enjoyed this foray into Modern, and definitely look forward to playing some more Modern, testing out some new decks, and getting into the format soon. So, but I'd really love to hear what all of y'all thought. Did you enjoy this gameplay? What'd you think of the decks? As always, my deck lists are in the description, so you can check those out there. And while you're down there, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment telling me what you thought of the video. It goes a long way with helping our reach. And of course, if you want to support the content directly, check out that Patreon link where you can just support from anywhere from $1 to as much as you'd like, and get perks like exclusive Discord access, personal deck text, as well as original art tokens sent directly to you by Blood Artist. You're gonna first off go check them out on Twitter and just check out this art, and it'll speak for itself. Lastly, I want to thank my editor and friend and guest today, Busted Sleeves. Go check them out on all their socials, linked in the description, and give them some support. Alright, well, until next time, I'm Casual Jake reminding you, don't forget to play your land drops. I'll see ya.